When you visit a customer, it's important to be able to find the HVAC residential pricing file quickly on your computer. The way to do this is to put a shortcut to the pricing file on your computer desktop. That way, when you turn on your computer, the first thing you will see is the desktop, and the shortcut to the pricing file will be right there for you. It's also a good idea to put a shortcut to the job estimates folder on the desktop as well. So here's your computer desktop. When you turn on the computer, it would be nice to have those shortcuts sitting right in this area. How do you create the shortcut? First, you open Excel. Then you go up to the Office button in the top left-hand corner. You left-click on the Office button. You left-click on the Open folder. And you find the file where your pricing you find the folder where your pricing file is located. In this case, it's in the Job Estimates folder. I open the Job Estimates folder and I find my pricing file. And here it is. Now, I right-click on the pricing file. That's a right-click. Use your right mouse button, right-click. That brings up a menu. I go down to Send To in the menu. I left-click on Send To. I go over to the submenu that appears on the right. I left-click on Desktop, Create Shortcut. Now I've created a shortcut on my desktop for the pricing file. As I said before, it's a good idea to also make a shortcut to the entire job estimate folder on the desktop. Let's click on My Documents in the Open window. That brings me back to the My Documents folder. Here's the Job Estimates folder. I'm going to right-click, again use my right mouse button. I will right-click on the folder. I go down to Send To, left-click on Send To, go over to Desktop, Create Shortcut, left-click on that, and now I've created a shortcut. I can close Excel to see my shortcuts. And here they are. Here's the pricing file shortcut and the job estimate shortcut. If you don't like the location where these shortcuts were put, you can simply drag them over to another place on the desktop. I position my mouse pointer over the shortcut. I hold down with my left mouse button. You hold down, and while holding down, you drag the icon to another location and let go. Let's do that to the job estimate shortcut as well. I hold down with my left mouse button and drag the icon to another location, and now I've moved those two icons to a different spot on my desktop. Remember that these are just shortcuts. These are not the files and folders themselves. A shortcut is simply a pointer that points you to the location on the computer where the file or the folder is located. Notice that a folder shortcut looks like a folder, and a file shortcut looks like a file. You can change the names of the shortcuts as well. Let's assume I want to call the pricing file shortcut New Customers. I can right-click, that's right-click, on the shortcut. That brings me up a menu. I can left-click on Rename and call this New Customers. I also want to change the job estimate shortcut name, so I will right-click, left-click on Rename, and I'll call this Existing Customers. And hit Enter when you're done. And now I've changed the name to these two shortcuts. So when I turn on my computer, if it's a new customer, I simply click on this shortcut. That brings me to my, actually I double click, excuse me. You always double click on a shortcut. That brings me to my pricing file. And if I'm looking for an existing customer, I double click on this shortcut. And that brings me to my job estimates folder, and it shows me all of my job estimates.